This is Colin Ganley again from the Dominican Republic, and I'm here with Michael Herklots. Michael, the last time we saw each other, you were working at Davidoff in New York. Now I understand you're doing something different now.
Yeah, I left Davidoff in June and joined Nat Sherman.
Okay. And your role at Nat Sherman is a little bit different, I understand. You're working on cigars as well as some other things. What are you doing exactly?
At Davidoff, I was strictly retail, but I had the opportunity while I was there to work with manufacturers and to work on projects and to sort of have that role and get the help a little bit. So with Nat Sherman, my responsibilities are to oversee the retail, to maintain the store, but we have a manager in place in the store that does the operations day to day. And then I also work on blend development, brand development, and sort of maintain that relationship between the retail piece and the brand piece, because the retail piece is a big part of our brand. So it's really sort of balancing the retail presence of our own store at the Townhouse in New York, our retail presence in other retailers around the country, and then making sure that the product fits and makes sense and is the right story for those folks.
Okay, so I mean, I think a lot of our viewers recognize the Nat Sherman brand, and they've seen Nat Sherman cigars for years and years and years. I mean, obviously this is one of the older companies in the industry with a great history. Now there's a new product. Speaking of time, history. And I think you were involved with this product quite a bit, right? Tell us about Timeless.
So we have a lot of different lines. The Host series and the Metropolitan series have been around for a long time. We have a few other lines, the VIP and the Gotham. Those have always been proprietary to the store. Timeless is the first project that I've gotten to do since joining the company, and this really just represents the next direction for us. Historically, our cigars are pretty mellow. Our cigars have always been very easy smoking, sort of a real snapshot of what cigars were like in the 90s. You know, I mean, it was that sort of great Dominican, mellow, Connecticut shade, broadleaf options, you know. And so, because we've always done that well, this is about filling in the blanks. In order to represent that, it was important for me that we really get outside of the box and really do something different. So the Timeless is a brand new box, brand new logo, brand new band.
I love the band, by the way.
Thank you. That's
immediately reminds me of a watch.
Well, and you know, when you look at Nat Sherman and what are the hallmarks of Nat Sherman, you know, we've always been identified with our clock in the store. On all the old bands and on our cigarette packaging, the clock is always, you know, very obviously presented. This was about being inspired by that piece, but turning it into something else. Yeah. So, what's cooler than a clock is a watch. So it was inspired by a watch. From a blend perspective, we didn't want to go to market with something that was just ours. We wanted to go to market with something that retailers and consumers could automatically know that they wanted it as well. So at IPCPR, we brought in some blend samples, 7 different blends, and tasting cards, and sent them out to retailers, consumers, and we asked for feedback on the obvious ones: combustion, aroma, flavor, strength, but then we also asked for what price do you want this to be? What sizes do you want to see it in? How do you want these cigars packed? And we got about 200 impressions from retailers and consumers. And they ran the gamut. You know, some people said it should be super premium at $20 plus. Some people said it should be a bundle. But we took all the data that we got, we put it into a spreadsheet, and we looked at, you know, what do our customers want us to do? And that's what Timeless ultimately became. So it's a blend that we got a lot of help on, made here at MATASA, but it incorporates tobaccos from 3 different countries. The 4 sizes are kind of an odd mix. There's a little Petit Corona, there's a fat Robusto that we call the Hermoso, the Petit Corona is called the number 5, there's a beautiful Torpedo, we call it the number 2, and a classic Churchill, which we call a Churchill. And it's sort of an odd mix for a 4-size line, but you know, it was really built on what people want.
And I smoked one yesterday, and it impressed me that it was a different flavor profile than what I'm accustomed to from Nat Sherman. How would you describe it?
Well, to that point, what was really important to me, because I'm a retailer, you know, no store has room for something else. You know, you don't walk into a retail store and see one section of empty, and that's waiting for next year's IBCPR.
Right.
You know, it's full. Yeah. And that also means that there's pretty much every flavor on the market, right? And as a retailer, when I'm presented with new products to bring in, my challenge is always finding a flavor I don't sell under another name. Okay. So we really worked hard at being able to create a flavor that was new. So for me, you know, from a body perspective, I think it's headed towards full for sure, because the mouthfeel and impact of this tobacco as a blend really has great mouthfeel and full body. But from a flavor standpoint, it is unique. You know, there's some creamy elements to it. There's some earthiness from the Honduran tobacco. There's that classic sort of chocolatey espresso thing from the Nicaraguan tobacco. There's some bright spiciness that's so Dominican, and so it really is unique. You know, I'm super excited about it.
Well, thanks. Thanks for sharing all this information with us. I know we're going to have it in a tasting soon, and people can read about it all in Cigar Journal. So thanks again.
Thank you, man.
All right.